It's lovely to see all of your smiling faces. I'm Reverend Debbie. Yeah, it's my opportunity to preside today, and I just want to remind all of us that the mission of this center is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. And that allows us to really remember that one truth, that there is only one power, and that power is good. And it's greater than we are, individually or even combined. It is what it is. And so with that, I would like to remind everyone to turn off their cell phones, or at least quiet them, and welcome our musician of the day, Claire. Come on up, Claire.
We're slowly thawing. This is good. I see people coming out of the glacier. We have a minor AV issue this morning, i.e. we have no overhead screen. So guess what? If you feel like humming, you'll know the melody. I've changed the words, as I often do, but we're going to start out with Auld Lang Syne, which, by the way, comes from the Scots, and it means long time since. Should old acquaintance be forgot, never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot, and the days of Auld Lang Syne? So here's a hand, my trusted friend. Give me a hand of thine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet, for the days of Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my friend. Auld Lang Syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet, for the days of Auld Lang Syne. And join in song, spreading our good cheer to old and new friends, tried and true, all throughout the year. For Auld Lang Syne, my friend, Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for the days of Auld Lang Syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet, for the days of Auld Lang Syne.
That was beautiful and in perfect harmony.
Yeah. They never argue.
Oh, isn't that great? Something you don't hear often during the holidays. They never argue. Okay. Join me as we do a centering prayer, please, and let us just sort of breathe together. Just breathe in the love and the joy and the gratitude. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for those of us who have gathered together on this beautiful winter morning. I'm grateful for those online with us. And I just allow that gratitude to settle in, knowing that it in and of itself is a prayer. That one power, that one presence, that very thing itself is at the very center of gratitude. and of this holiday. And so I just allow that gratitude to settle and know it's my truth. It's our truth. Just to be grateful for this one time. So it is. Okay, does everybody have a program? Everybody needs a program. Everybody needs a candle. Yeah. And those of you, this is just like a little break. Just pause a second if you're watching online and take a breath or two. And get a candle. That's a good idea. Get a candle while we've got this minute here. But if you would open up your programs, we don't have any visual today. So if you would be so kind as to open up your program and let us do this group reading together. I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and the presence for good. I am ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to live from highest blessings. I am ready to live from a higher level of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. Oh, man, that feels good. All right, speaking of light, I'm going to ask Jeff to come up and light the flames of faith, and we're going to do it a little bit differently today because it's all about the candle lighting today. It's all about light, with yesterday being the shortest day of the year. So with that, we want to light candles in honor of some of the more major traditional spiritual religions that are recognized, knowing that there's all one. It all comes back to that very thing itself, but there are many paths for there. So we light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And now, as Jeff lights the Christ consciousness candle, I invite all of us to just take a moment and recognize that spark within, that divinity, that divinity that reminds us of wholeness, oneness, and that mental healing. Thank you. Thank you all for that. And now I'm going to invite Colleen to come up and do an inspirational reading. Other Colleen. Such willingness in this organization.
We can be interchangeable. That's just fine. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you all here today. Today we have a reading by Dr. Ernest Holmes, and it's a Christmas letter from him. Christmas is for remembrance. The love manifesting through our gifts to each other typifies the offering of life, the givingness of spirit to its creation. The hands of the eternal are outstretched through our hands, and the heart of the infinite beats in the breast of each human. But the giver must give of themselves, for the gift without the giver is bare. It is not, then, in lavish gifts that we find true giving, but in the sweet simplicity of remembrance, in kindly thought, the tolerant mind, and the gentle act. Love alone can give love. Sympathy alone can sympathize, and only goodness can really do or be good. The one who gives for reward does not give at all. He seeks to bargain, to trade for spiritual gifts. Hence, he senses loss on his own giving and finds no completion through the act. But he who gives half his meat to the hungry feels justified and is warmed by the real sense of comradeship. He has established an actual unity between himself and other offspring of creation. Great success when there is giving of humanity. With the check must come the one who wrote it, his interest, his enthusiasm, and love. The checked must be a symbol of his desire to impart himself. Then shall it multiply its benefits and do good. Charity is cold, but love is warm. When heart speaks to heart, a divine conversation has taken place, a heavenly discourse. Each of us has something to give. Let each see that we give of our best. If we are bringing out gifts to the altar of love, nothing less than the best will be acceptable. Nothing less than all is enough. May the real spirit of Christmas, the giving of self to life, enter and abide in you now and through all time. Thank you.
So I was going through the rabbit hole of the internet this week, and I came across this one that I heard Sarah Bareilles sing, and it just seemed to resonate with what I needed to hear, and maybe you do too. It's called Love is Christmas. That's called tuning. I don't care if the house is packed or the strings of light are broken. I don't care if the gifts are wrapped or there's nothing here to open. Love is not a toy, no paper will conceal it. Love is simply joy that I'm home. I don't care if the carpet's stained, we have food upon the table. I don't care if it's gonna rain, our little room is warm and stable. Love is who we are, no season can contain it. Love would never fall for that. We sing, ooh. So scared that we'll mess it up. Perfection keeps us haunted. All we need is the best of love. That's all anyone ever wanted. Love is how we do, let no judgment overrule it. Love, I look at you and I sing. Ooh.
That was beautiful. So was the reading. Thank you. Okay, get ready, because here comes the main act.
Thank you. That was very pretty. As I was preparing for today, and we're going to do this candle lighting thing, everything seemed a little bit different. And then I was reading the pages of my morning reading. One I read is from Daily Word, and one of them I read is from the Science of the Mind. And Science of the Mind, I'm talking like Dee Ray. She always called Science of the Mind. Science of Mind. And one of the things, I want to repeat this thing that Ernest Holmes said, because I think it's kind of important for us to remember what his thoughts were. And he said this: God, the divine, never had but one son. This son is being born at every season, in every place, through all races, and in all nations. Every birth is a divine event. Every conception is immaculate. And this woman that wrote the affirmations for December, her name is Dr. Chris Alexander, she writes, I find it meaningful to remember that just as the sun is always present, with its light obscured only by Earth's rotation, spirit is always within me, even if my perception and awareness fluctuates. Spirit is always everywhere, and we have that spirit within us. And I mean, this is what we say over and over again because it's the truth. And if we can really absorb this, and I'm going to read a page from, this was yesterday's page in Daily Word. This is a publication from Unity, but I find it delightful as well. This was from the Saturday the 21st, which is the solstice. No matter the amount of darkness that surrounds me, the illumination that comes from the light of God within me shines brightly. This awareness blesses me and helps me maintain my perspective about the shifting state of the world and the changeless nature of God. Just as certain times of the year are darker than others, certain times of life are dark while others are lighter. Yet the light of God is eternal and unchanging. I place my attention on the light of God, which shines brightly within me. On my darker days, it's the light that sustains me. During easier times, I shine my inner light into the world and illuminate the ways for others. Boy, I just think if you can grasp those two little thoughts, you may be dismissed. I just think that was so rich that I wanted to share it with you today. You know, light is so important to human beings. Yeah, I'm sure some of you do that thing where you sit under that light and it gives you light so that it makes you feel better. I think last week, Colleen W., did you mention something about this town in Norway called Ryuken?
Yeah.
What was going on in Ryuken then?
There was a swan chick that was stuck in the ice.
Okay, all right. She did a reading about this swan chick. But then, as I was reading this, and I've told this story before because I think it's really interesting about Ryuken, Norway. And there they get from October to March, they do not see the sun directly in their village. They are just like in a shadow the whole time because of the mountains around them. And this is how important light is. What they did several years ago, I've been telling this story a long time. I should double check, make sure they're still doing it. But they put mirrors, big reflective mirrors up in the mountains around their little village so that at certain times of the day, the sun would shine on those mirrors and reflect the sunlight into their village so they could go to their marketplace or their city center and sit in the sun. I just find that remarkable. But light is so important to all of us. And on the other hand, another thought on the subject is a French author named Albert Camus, and he said, "In the depth of winter, I have finally learned there lies within me an invincible summer." Now, to me, that invincible summer is that light. It's always there, no matter middle of the winter or the further down we go, the problems that we might encounter in our lives. So the gist of this message is that when our lives look bleak, we are reminded that there's a path of light for us, even when we can't see the way. It is there for us, and we can take that path, and it will shed more and more light into our lives. One of the writers for our Science of Mind magazine is a guy named Rocco Errico, and he writes this: as we realize our Christ consciousness, I call that Christ consciousness, it's kind of a mystic word to me. I like to think of Christ consciousness as simply the power of God within us. The Spirit of God within me is Christ consciousness. And he says, when we realize our Christ consciousness, we become fulfilled individuals, mature and complete. We don't need anything else. One of the things that was part of our little series here was this idea that we're pre-approved. We are pre-approved. We got this light within us. Nothing else has to happen for us to be okay in the mind of spirit. We are okay. We have that light within us. And so what did Jesus say about all this? He told parables, and one of the parables that he told was, well, this was a story. I don't know. It's probably, some of the parables I think were completely made up, just stories. But he knew Martha and Mary. I think that was probably real people in his life. They were friends, and he'd go to their house. And he went to their house, and Martha was the one that she's buzzing all over. She's cleaning the house, she's cooking, she's being the hostess with the mostest. Mary, she's sitting at Jesus' feet listening to him talk. Martha's getting a little ticked off. She's working hard, she's sweating. Mary's sitting there just enjoying Jesus. And Martha goes up to Jesus and she says, "Jesus, why don't you tell her to get up and help me? This isn't really fair." And Jesus says, "Martha, Martha, you're worried and bothered about so many things, but only a few things are necessary, really only one. For Mary has chosen the good part, which shall not be taken from her." To me, what Mary chose to hear from Jesus saying, that kingdom of God is within you. That light created everything and everyone is within you. That's what he was telling. That was his message. And that's what Mary was listening to. And how often do we get caught up in the minutia? I think particularly maybe around the holidays, maybe this group isn't so guilty of it, but I think in the past, I have been like, do you get all that shopping done? And, you're going to bake the cookies and you're going to do this and that and you got to get together with these people. Instead of being an enjoyable time of year, a lot of people get stressed out around the holidays because they put all this emphasis on stuff that doesn't really matter. And so I think, it's important for us at this time of year to think about things like, who haven't you contacted for a while? Who needs to hear from you? How much time are you spending in prayer and meditation? What good books have you read? How long has it been since you put up your feet and said, I kind of like me and I'm going to be nice to me? These are things that are important for us to think about. Another parable that was told was the one about the Good Samaritan. Now, the story goes that there was this guy walking down the highway, byway, pathway, whatever they had in those days, and he was attacked by bad guys. And he was beat up, they took his money, left him for dead, thank you, again. And along the road comes this priest. he sees the guy laying by the side of the road, and does he go help him? No, he goes to the other side of the road and thinks, oh, I got all this good stuff I got to do as a priest. I'm a holy man. I got to do good stuff. Leaves the guy there, doesn't pay any attention to him. Next, there comes a Levite. Now, Levites were people in the children of Israel. They came from the tribe of Levi, and it was their particular religious duty to do certain things. That was what they did, religious duties. So he comes walking along, and does he go minister? No, he goes on the other side of the road. I got duties, I got things got to do. Can't be helping this guy, who knows, whatever. So then here comes this guy, a Samaritan. Now, a Samaritan was looked down upon. A Samaritan was from northern Israel, and he had some Assyrian blood in him. He was of mixed blood. He was looked down upon. And he's the one, walks down the road, instead of skirting the guy, he walks up to the guy. He administers to his wounds as best he can. He gets him to the closest inn. He pays the innkeeper and says, please take care of him. I will come back and pay the rest of the bill on my way back. And this, I think, is how we rebirth Christ consciousness. This is what it's all about. It's all about showing mercy and compassion, not just to our neighbors or our relatives, but to anybody, to people that we don't even know, to the less fortunate. Now today, we're going to have an opportunity to set an intention and open our heart to unconditional love. And we're going to do this as we do this lighting of the candles. So this is kind of a rebirth of our Christ consciousness. It has to do with openness and setting intentions to do our best. So I'm shifting gears here to go into this candle lighting. And Reverend Debbie had given me some notes that she's used in the past about the solstice. And that's what was going on yesterday, the shortest amount of sunlight and the longest, darkest day of the year. And in a spiritual sense, it's a reminder that in order for a new path to begin, the old one must end, and that spring will come again. And far back as history goes, we hear stories about people acknowledging the solstice being celebrated. And in Babylon, this date was marked by the beginning of 12 days of struggle between chaos and order. Other cultures like the Hindu, Chinese, Celtic also viewed this as a time for reversing orders and rules. The Romans feasted and gambled in order to combat the forces of gloom. My goodness, it's dark, let's party. Way back, everybody has been celebrating this. Celebrations continue today. In Italy, it's the burning of the Yule log. In Greece, I was going to look this up and I'd see if they're still doing it. In Greece, women dress in white and dance in the streets known as the Festival of Wild Women. In Sweden, young girls wear a wreath of candles and awaken their families with cake and song. It's believed that the Romans moved Christmas to December 25th to allow the church to join in this celebration of renewal. They were missing out on all the partying, and so they actually moved the date, and that happened somewhere around 300 AD. It is around the same time that the first recorded candle lighting took place in Moravia, a small European nation now absorbed by a larger one, the Czech Republic. Worshippers called Moravian Brethren filed into the churches at midnight on Christmas Eve, where there was a large candle lit, gleaming in front of the pulpit as a symbol of the eternal light that lighteth every man who comes into the world. The brethren lit small candles and sang carols. They left and they took the small candle home to be in the window of the house. It stood as a Christmas blessing to all within and without. Today, we participate in our candle lighting as an opportunity to recognize that we too have within us the eternal light of God. Just remember that. We all have that all the time. We see that light as expressed in the qualities of God that we talk about, qualities of God that we identify with. We move through the darkness knowing there is no chaos, only order. Today we celebrate this season of renewal in birth by releasing our resentments, letting go of our regrets, and focusing on our gifts of love and light. And next week, we're going to continue this, where we do the flash paper and burn what we want to get rid of, say goodbye to, and write on our white stones an intention for the next year. So I would invite those of you who have something to read, one of the qualities of spirit, to come forward. And I believe Karen has to light the first candle. And Jeff will light the last candle. Today we light the Christ candle in recognition of the Christ consciousness within each and every one of us. That's the large candle in the center here. And from that flame, we light 7 candles of truth representing qualities of God. As we light each candle, feel, sense, and know this truth as the truth of your being. It is your very nature. I think you can just read it
They
there.
can't hear it on the internet.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
We begin by lighting a candle is for life. And as we consider life, we realize that life is everywhere present, a great invisible stream flowing through each and every one of us. As we light this candle, we honor that one life. Say to yourself, there is only one life. That life is God's life, and that life is my life now. And hear the indwelling Christ within respond, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life.
Wouldn't you could just come?
Come this way?
Yeah, just
Okay.
oops. I was too stealth.
There we go. Okay. We light the candle for light, recognizing that the light of God is the only presence and the only power that there is. There is no separation. We are always walking in the light. As we renew our hearts with this awareness, we dedicate ourselves to radiating God's light wherever we are. We recognize this infinite presence in those places where it seems to be absent. As we light this candle for light, we proclaim that we are each a point of light in the mind of God. And let me add, you don't have to warn the dark that light is coming.
This candle is for joy, the highest expression of God. Consider the joy of children who give themselves to the flow of perfect life within them. Their celebration is spontaneous. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. It cannot be harmed, threatened, or endangered in any way. As we light this candle for joy, we allow it to rise up within us, proclaiming the joy of our own rebirth in the manger of God consciousness, and behold its transforming glory.
This candle is for love. The birth of love happens within each of us every time we make room for that Christ consciousness in our hearts and our lives, and we are transformed. Fear and doubt disappear. Confidence and security take their place, and all challenges, great and small, yield to a deeper understanding of the love of our own soul. As we light the candle for love, we each affirm, I am a point of love within the heart of God.
We light this next candle for beauty. For true spiritual progress, life-enhancing progress, is understanding that we have been made in the image and likeness of God, that we are each whole, complete, perfect, and beautiful just as we are. This is the truth that sets us free. As we light this candle for beauty, we accept that beauty of God's perfection is in us now and always.
We light this next candle for service. When we set aside the littleness of our experiences and step into harmony with Spirit's givingness, God's greatness, we are called to be of service to each other and to those in need. We take a moment today to be grateful for the gift of each other, the gift of community, and the joy of membership in this divine life stream called humankind. As we prepare for our offering to give our gifts in this form, we dedicate ourselves to being of greater service to the world.
And now we light, oops, I better light it first. And now we light the candle for peace. Jesus, the Master Teacher, said, "My peace I give unto you." He came to bring peace, but the gift is only ours if we make room for it in our heart. The world appears to be in conflict, so let us turn our attention to what we know to be true. Let us keep our mind on God so that we may bring love where there is hatred, joy where there is sorrow, and peace where there is chaos. Let each one of us be the calm in the eye of the storm, a center for peace in the world.
Thank you. Now, would you take your candles and make sure everyone seated here has their candle lit as well? Now just take a moment and before you blow out your candle, please consider not a wish like when you blow out a birthday candle, but an intention. Visualize setting an intention. Be that intention to let go of anxiety, maybe an intention of opening up your heart to unconditional love, maybe an intention to spend more time in prayer and meditation, whatever it might be. It might be an intention of forgiveness. Just take a moment, close your eyes, and just bask in this intention that you can set right here and right now. And when you're comfortable, bring your consciousness back to where we are, and knowing that you have set that intention. And I'd like to, as you're in this meditative state, I would like to just close with a spiritual mind treatment. Let's just take a deep breath and relax where we're at right here and right now. And I acknowledge there is but one power in the universe, and that power is a power of light and life and love and service and beauty and joy and peace. That power is all good. And it is that very power that created everything and everyone, that experiences life in, through, and as its creation. In, through, and as every person. And so I declare, with that power within me, that I know that sometimes I'm faced with challenges that make me feel like I'm walking in the rain or under a dark cloud. I'm not so open to that goodness. I know that, even though that sometimes happens in everyone's life, that we experience a little downness. I know that the truth is there is a path for us always lit by that higher power, leading us to our good and more good. And I'm comforted and strengthened by that. I'm comforted and strengthened by the law that says, it is done unto you as you believe. And I release these words now to that beneficent conspiracy for perfect manifestation. And so it is.
One of these mornings, oh, I swear, I'll wake up already there, out of the darkness, into the light. I wasn't really born to run. That's just where I'm coming from, out of the darkness, into the light. Out of the darkness, heading out of the darkness, coming out of the darkness, into the light. Opened up my heart and see all the love surrounding me. Out of the darkness, into the light. As the world turns every day, follow love that knows the way. Out of the darkness, into the light. Out of the darkness, coming out of the darkness. Out of the darkness, into the light.
You can sing too. Here we go. Out of the darkness.
Out of the darkness, coming out of the darkness, coming out of the darkness, into the light.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Reverend Joanne, for the inspiration. Now is our time in the service to give back to this community. And I know a lot of us do this online and in other ways. So I invite all of us just to take to our heart that gift that we are giving, that gift that is money in action, going out and coming back, pressed down and multiplied. That gift that not only supports this community, but supports other New Thought communities around the globe. And I just say thank you for the opportunity to be, to share, to have community, and to have love. So it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We give thanks for the gifts and for the givers, and we give thanks for the opportunity for us to provide spiritual mind treatment for anyone who is interested. Whether you are working through something, celebrating something, seeking more of something, whatever it may be, you can fill out a spiritual request form here on the table. You can fill one out online, or you can see one of us after the service. And it is definitely not only a gift that we're offering to you, but a gift for ourselves when we have the opportunity to share. So today we have a full house. We have Jeff and Colleen and Colleen and Celeste and Leif and Joanne and myself. So there's a full house of us. And know that we have this community, both in person and online, in our hearts when we do our spiritual work. And now it's time for some announcements. And I'm going to start us off with a great announcement. Come on up, Marv.
I have a Christmas gift for each one of you. And I'd like to ask you to please come see me as soon as the service is over so I can give it to you. And please don't be shy. I really want to do this. You'll make an old man really happy if you just come down here and see me.
All right. Other announcements is we've got next Sunday, we're going to do our traditional burning bowl and white stone intention setting. So it should be another lovely service and an opportunity for us to go a little deeper together, which will be, it's always such a special, special event. So last year we hosted it at our house. This year we get to host it here, which is great. So please join us for that. We have the first Sunday of the month, we're going to do a visioning after the service. So we can start setting, not only take that intention and put a vision behind it. So please plan on being here that first Sunday and spending a little extra time with us. The service will be a little shorter so that there'll be space and time for all of us to do some visioning. On the 23rd, which is a Thursday, I'm going to start a Zoom class based on the book This Thing Called You. It's going to be 6 weeks. We're going to do 2 chapters a week, and we're going to throw a bunch of other spiritual tools into it. Would love to have you. If you, it's a small charge of $35. Whether you've been in this teaching for a long time or you're brand new to it, this book can change a life and can remind us of our truth. So I hope everyone has an opportunity that's available on Thursdays to join me in this wonderful event. And with that, we have some Christmas kringle to share for fellowship, as well as some wonderful personalities here today. So let's just, please stay for fellowship. And I have got a hand in the back of the room, Miss Eileen. Come on up. Oh, and she's all dressed for Christmas, too.
Not really. Last week I was dressed for Christmas. This was just too appropriate. This was slipped under our door this morning, which we didn't have time. So I read it in the car. This is our neighbor Nancy, who every year gives us a poem. And we've lived next door to each other for 13 years. We always say we're going to have dinner, we're going to do whatever. We never have. But last night we went out to dinner. We had a fabulous time with them, and this was under the door this morning. It is what it is. Accept the things we cannot change the things we can, from the Serenity Prayer. We cannot expect a fairy godmother to wand away our reality, nor ask of a genie 3 wishes, nor believe God's will aligns with ours. Like birds building a nest, twig by twig, we forge community with all in our lives, gifting kindness, compassion, and trust. Our collective reality is what it is, but we are who we are and who we might yet be. We are not alone. Thought it was so appropriate.
So beautiful.
And and we had this great time for dinner. And all these years, that we're going to do that, but we don't. So I just thought with the service this morning, this fits right into it.
Thank you so much. God is good. So good. Okay, so I'm going to do a short prayer out. We're going to get a blessing out, and we're going to sing out, and then coffee. All right, here we go. I just give thanks for knowing and being reminded of this light within, that very thing itself, which is all there is, always available for direction and guidance. And I say thank you. I say thank you for all of the qualities of God that are within each and every one of us. And as we open our hearts and we open our minds, we are given opportunities upon opportunities, and I just say thank you. Thank you for all of it. All that has been, all that is, all that will be. Thank you. And I know that Spirit is doing the heavy lifting as this holiday continues to unfold in right and perfect order. So it is.
May you be at peace. May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
Namaste. And I should have mentioned Anthony has a little pop-up shop for Christmas in St. Paul. If you hadn't had a chance to go over to his store, he's brought a few items if you've got a little last-minute shopping to do.
Where are they?
On that table. Okay? All right. Take it away, Claire.
Going to end with a tune from Karen Drucker and J.D. Martin. Apparently they were together at a songwriting workshop, and this is what came out of it. It's called Joy in Our Hearts.
Ooh.
Light shines wherever we are. Light in the darkness. Hope in the silence. Joy, I say, joy in our heart. Every day is a choice to show some kindness. We're a part of one family, so connected, our hearts and spirit. I reach out to you, you reach out to me. Peace for all seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence. Joy, joy in our hearts. Now is the time to come together, count our blessings, we are grateful. We lift our voices in one chorus, brothers, sisters, let's celebrate. Peace for all seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence. Joy, joy in our hearts. Peace, peace, peace for all seasons. Light, light, light wherever we are. Love, love, love every moment. Joy, joy in our hearts. Peace for all seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence. Joy, joy in our hearts.